difficult times wearing my other hat as an MEP. I really want to thank the Liadh for organising this event and for being with you today. And glad also to have the opportunity to engage with so many and such a wide variety of community and voluntary sectors. Liadh is an impressive organisation that since '99 has given common voice to the myriad of civil society organisations that enrich our communities. Ireland, as we know, has a vibrant and rich community and voluntary sector, and I'm sure there's no need for me to tell you, but it's quite a staggering number of 9,931 organisations with charitable status in Ireland. The Liadh has over 1,385 membership organisations with a reach of over 2.2 million. 180, no, this is the last figures I mentioned, so you don't have to glaze over, but they're important nonetheless to bear in mind. 158,000 people are employed in the sector, representing 7.3% of all paid jobs in the state. Organisations in this sector range from sports clubs to tidy town committees, from educational organisations and resource centres to advocacy organisations and care providers. And I have to say, I think I've met people representing each one of those through my years as an MEP. Voluntary organisations, as we know, help to keep Ireland ticking over. They fill in gaps in essential services that the state refuses or fails to adequately provide. And you and hundreds of thousands of women and men like yourselves give up your time week in, week out, often on top of full-time jobs and family commitments. You step in to offer care and respite, comfort and compassion. You're often caught between a rock and a hard place, advocating for improved and responsive services while working day and night to provide those same services to address very real and immediate needs. Many of you enrich your communities, you develop capacity and encourage participation. You restore pride and place in your towns and villages. You give older people opportunity to give back and to enjoy their golden years. And you build the social economy and create jobs. You stand up for our environment, showcase our culture and develop our communities. You provide safe, positive spaces for young people to compete, cooperate and contribute. As an MEP, I have championed rural development, advocating for the bottom-up approach and community-led approach. I grew up, as I would say, there in West Cork. It's an area with a proud Republican history. I was raised in the Liadh in an Irish-speaking family, and I'm the daughter of Liadh Ní Riada, so naturally I was surrounded by his musical legacy. And as someone who has lost both parents from a very young age, I've had to face personal challenges and hardships no more than other people, but I think it allows me to identify perhaps with that personal struggle. My siblings and I had to raise each other, and so that's given me a very strong sense of independence, but it's also given me that empathy for those who are struggling. I want to be a new president for a new Ireland. Our society is much more inclusive, and we have legislated for marriage equality and repeal the 8th. However, we do know that things have gotten much worse. We've seen this lately. I'm sure some of you were at the Raise the Roof rally, where 10,000 people are now homeless. We have 4,000 children that don't have a bed they can call their own home. And rising rents are forcing more and more people out of their homes. We have elderly people that are stripped of their dignity, waiting on chairs in hospital A&Es, and families are struggling. Many are simply just one step away from a full-on crisis. So I think we need a president that will remind legislators to do their job. They have a duty of care, that they are responsible, that no one should be left behind in their policies. And we also need a conversation about the future. We were told that the issue of abortion was taboo, and we had a respectful debate on the 8th Amendment, and that's now gone. We also had a respectful debate on marriage equality, and gay people can now get married. So I think the next great debate will be about Irish unity, and I think we need to start that conversation, and that is going to be the centrepiece of my presidency. But those of it mar official Oracle are some Quigmoon and Steshka Quigline. Sonora, the ladies go loud are some last week in the hair, are Brexit, Nahalina, Hubble Tuiha, agus Wurbacha, Ahu Eroide, Nodrucht, agus Carta Socialta. I have fought hard for the ordinary Irish people in the European election and Parliament since 2014, and I want to bring that energy and that enthusiasm and commitment to my presidency. I want to represent a new, fairer and more caring Ireland. I think Ireland needs an energetic president to support and encourage this journey. So I'm now asking people to allow me to bring to the office of presidency the enthusiasm, the energy and the commitment that I have already shown in my years as an MEP. Mar aon le bheith mar peibhneoir ar Monracht, bheith mé crógad mar cosintúir ar na Las, I hope some of you are bilingual here, Las Náisiúnta na hÉir ar North Canas agus ar Nóslucht. As well as being a custodian of our constitution, I will be courageous in the defence of democracy, the national interest, as well as Ireland's sovereignty and neutrality. Mar uachtarán bheith mé forásach agus go díbh, ag taú le siúlta ar sochtaí atá lócalach nó imneach. Bheith mo uachtarán mar gá ar son éire cóbá, éire cóir, éire ina bhfuil I gach páiste in the Mala féin. I want to be a voice for a caring Ireland, a fair Ireland, an Ireland where every child has a home, and an Ireland that leaves no one behind. As President, I want to honour the contribution of our carers and those working in our public services. I will launch a presidential initiative to recognise employers paying fair wages. Harlar for the mé last na muinte na hÉir na Cín, mar dhéanamh gcónaí, agus tamáin mé tugrach chun éagsúil a curagar imige the Yaskov and Geirkin Akhamiyafta of Utavada. But abroad, I will put the interests of the Irish people first, as I always have, and I want to lead a drive to bring home a generation forced to leave since the economic crash. I will give leadership on the values that should underpin a new Ireland, such as the economy serving the needs of the people, and not the other way around. Tá India said that encouraging Geirkin slán to internet while false in our deal. The roads are pushing the Geirkin in the shop, and the Schlitte is firing or softly agro on the Slimami to tackle the Kele, and on the big to our guide on sale by Liadh to ask a government and its endless. Anxiety and insecurity, we know, are contributing to a growing mental health crisis in our country. I will focus on the causes of this crisis, on how we can organise society so that we can support each other, rather than allow our quality of life to be undermined by inequality and extreme individualisation. I will use the opportunities of the office, including the ability to address the Oireachtas, to remind those legislators of the values that matter, sharing prosperity, caring for all citizens, and showing solidarity with others. Tá fiche an déir nua tá ulrich agus an punseach, fiche the éirí aontaithe, in an bhfuil meas déilige, dar bé luachtaí agus tradiisiún fad. The island of Ireland today is in transition. Brexit will have a major impact on our future, and increasingly the shape of a new United Ireland is a feature, I think, for public discussion. As President, I will initiate an inclusive citizens' conversation on a future United Ireland. The past 7 years have witnessed the disappearance of a lot of Ireland's old certainties. The partition of Ireland too will be overcome, and the tide of history is with those seeking to build a new, progressive and inclusive Ireland. The future of this great country will be built on our glorious diversity and equal society for women and men, citizens of all abilities and disabilities, settled and travelled, LGBT and straight, young and old, black and white, orange and green. I will be a president who stands up for ordinary people, who honours the contributions of citizens and champions the improvements of workers' rights. So with your support, I want to be a new president for a new Ireland, and I hope you'll join me on that journey for a new Ireland.